win by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on.
What is going on, Hoop fans, and welcome to this very exciting live watch along right here on the Basketball Podcast Network. We are beginning our live watch alongs of the 2022 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament, and the first one we have today is between Marquette and North Carolina. My name is Neil Villapiano. I'm the host of the Bridge to the Nets podcast here on the Basketball Podcast Network, which covers all things Brooklyn Nets. New episodes every single Friday, wherever you listen to podcast episodes, and on the Basketball Podcast Network. This live watch along and everything we do here, ladies and gentlemen, are sponsored by the awesome people at DraftKings Sportsbook. Make sure, guys, when you sign up for DraftKings to use our promo code TBPN. And guys, it's college basketball. It's March Madness. You got to get in on all of the awesome offers that DraftKings has for you, and you got to get on. You got to get on. So when you sign up for DraftKings, again, use our promo code TBPN. Also, guys, these live watch-alongs are comment-driven. So if you have a comment, question, score prediction, anything like that, let me know in the comment section on the right side, and I will share it here on the stream. We posted this about 2 hours ago. We said, who will take the win today? This is going to be a very interesting matchup, a 9-8 matchup. And the reason that I like 9-8 matchups is because, again, obviously, it all depends on, how the teams end up being seeded. I always think that 9-8 games are usually ones that end up being relatively competitive. And then you look at, a team like Marquette, who has had a decent season, 19-12, is taking on a blue blood in North Carolina. And you know for a fact that North Carolina has not only aspirations to go deep into the tournament, but certainly having aspirations to potentially win a championship for the first time since 2017. And so this is going to be a fun one here between North Carolina and Marquette. This is my own account that I decided to put a comment prediction. So I guess I kind of ruined it for all of you guys. I'm going to go with North Carolina to win this one in a close one, 76-72. My good buddy Jacob, who supports us over on the Hockey Podcast Network, is in the chat. Good to see you, Jacob, on this Thursday afternoon, my friend. Hope you're doing well. He says, this music is fire. Yeah, I do wholeheartedly agree. I love the intro that we have here for the live watch-alongs here on the Basketball Podcast Network. It's a lot of fun. Gets me hyped up, and I'm sure it gets you guys hyped up as well. Our good friend Josh Deming, who is responsible for scheduling all these live watch-alongs, he says, what's up, Neil? This music is great. Absolutely. Whoever put this together, I'm assuming it's Dylan, but whoever put this together, job well done, because it is absolutely awesome. Jacob says, oh, wow, it's Neil. Jacob, you're going to see a lot of me, especially during the March Madness tournament. You're going to see a lot of me. So make sure, because I will be here live again pretty much 24 hours from now, live once again here on the Basketball Podcast Network, as tomorrow I'll be doing another round of 64 matchup. That one will be between Texas and Virginia Tech. So stay tuned for that one. Jacob also says March Madness over the NBA. In a lot of ways, I really do agree. I mean, in the NBA, especially in the playoffs, you got basically games where it's just, a best of 7. In the March Madness National Tournament, it's a one game every single time. It's winner take all. You have to go out there and perform at your best right away in that game, or you're going to get eliminated. My wonderful mother is in the chat. She says, hey, Neil, thank you so much for the support as always. Everybody, if you're enjoying what you see so far, leave a like on the stream, subscribe, and punch notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do here on the Basketball Podcast Network. New live watch-alongs of NBA and also March Madness games right here on the Basketball Podcast Network. BC Hockey Podcast, that's one of the podcasts over on the Hockey Podcast Network, is in the chat saying, Neil, good to see you guys. Hopefully you guys had a really good live stream for your lunch session. Over on your channel, you guys go check out them. They cover everything British Columbia hockey in that area, Vancouver, a couple of junior leagues. Very, very awesome. Jacob also saying hello to my wonderful mother as always. THPN, the Hockey Podcast Network, which I was just on last night, which covers every single team in the National Hockey League and hockey in general, saying go TBPN. Thank you guys so much for the support. We do appreciate it 100%. I'm also on there quite often for live watch-alongs of NHL games. I was just on there last night for the Boston Bruins versus Minnesota Wild game. I will be back on that channel on Saturday afternoon for a live watch along. So stay tuned for that. Isha says, best tournament to bet on, hashtag DraftKings. Absolutely, guys. There are so many really awesome opportunities that DraftKings offers to you, whether you can, legally bet or even just do fantasy-wise, that can get you huge cash prizes all March Madness long. So make sure you guys use DraftKings and use our promo code again in the bottom right corner, TBPN. Jacob says he's going to go with North Carolina to win 79-69. All right. Thank you for that. And again, as always, guys, leave your score predictions in the chat as well. Jacob says, I don't want to see you more than I already do, but then at the same time, I can roast you more. Yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, Jacob, you're going to get a lot of me moving forward, not just on this one, but certainly over on the Hockey Podcast Network as well. My wonderful mother, hey, Neil, great that you are part of March Madness. It's so much fun. This is obviously something that I've been super excited. And once the guy who's in charge of all these, once our good buddy Josh announced that we were going to be doing this, I knew that I had to get on it. I'm looking forward to it. Going to try to do between 1 to 2 streams a week for March Madness. Also going to be trying to do some Brooklyn Nets games once I get my schedule kind of squared away moving forward. I'm looking forward to being here on the Basketball Podcast Network a lot more for live streams like I do on the hockey side. Sorry, my computer's on the fritz. No worries. I already know the situation with that, but still appreciate the comments as always. THPN says like and sub. Absolutely, guys. Like and subscribe to the Basketball Podcast Network YouTube channel. Live watch-alongs, NBA games, as well as all the March Madness games as well. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is the first of many of the March Madness games we are going to be covering here in this one. For North Carolina, it's their 52nd tournament appearance, second all-time behind Kentucky with 59. Kentucky will be taking on a team that's local to my area from New Jersey, St. Peter's, I believe either today or tomorrow. Tournament profile, North Carolina 24-9 this year under head coach Hubert Davis, who's in his first year after taking over for the legendary Roy Williams. So he has done a very good job of keeping things relatively status quo at North Carolina for the Tar Heels, doing a good job. And again, North Carolina is a team that could really be a sneaky team that could make a run, deep into the tournament. I know they're only an 8 seed, but still, that's kind of I don't know if I'd want to say a safe bet, but it's definitely a pretty decent bet that you could also get a decent amount of money because they're not in the top 5 seeds. Jacob says, I put $500 on Duke winning March Madness. All right. I mean, look, Mike Krzyzewski, obviously this is his final year as the head coach at Duke. And, I'm not going to go conspiracy theory or anything, but I wouldn't be totally surprised if Duke ended up being the team on top if they got some calls going their way. Josh is saying, I picked Duke too, but only put $20 on them. So that's fair. That's fair. But I will share with you guys really quickly. First of all, my bracket is already busted because Michigan came back and defeated Colorado State earlier today, but I'm gonna actually bring it up real quick because I'm gonna tell you guys really quickly who I have in the Final Four. I have Arkansas coming out of the West region, St. Mary's coming out of the East, Villanova out of the South, and Auburn out of the Midwest. So I actually don't have a single number 1 seed going into the Final Four in New Orleans. Then I have St. Mary's defeating Villanova in the national championship to win it all. So I'm going to go with the 5th seeded St. Mary's to win their first, I believe it would be their first ever national championship. So that is my bracket for at least the Final Four. I do have North Carolina in my bracket winning this one here. I believe they're on what? They're on the East region. I have North Carolina getting to the what do they call it? The Sweet 16 and losing to St. Mary's. So obviously, I do expect North Carolina to make some noise here. Marquette Golden Eagles, 6 wins this year against AP top 25 teams. So they have a lot of experience this year, led by head coach Shaka Smart in his 13th season as a head coach. First at Marquette, they finished with a 19-12 record, 11-8 in the Big East, and they were 6-6 against the top 25. And versus tournament field, they are 6-8, led by Jordan Lewis, their top scorer. So obviously, Marquette is one of those teams that you could very well look at as somebody that can pull off an upset. They have a lot of experience this year with 12 different games of the 20 plus that they played. The 12 of them, they played against top 25 teams, and they have exactly a 500 record. So this is going to be a very, very tough matchup for the Tar Heels to go up against this stingy Marquette team. But again, I do feel like, though, that at the end of the day, I think it's going to be close. It's going to be, as I predicted before, 76-72. It's going to be close, but I think eventually North Carolina is going to find a way to grab control and come away with the victory. Jacob says, L-Mans, LOL, JK. Beer Sports, whatever podcast. Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well today on this Thursday afternoon. He says, hi, Neil. Hope you are good. I am doing very well. Like I said, super, super excited to be doing my first live watch along for March Madness. This is going to be the first of many that I plan on doing, so I'm very much looking forward to it here. The big matchup that I want to see in this game is between, obviously, like I mentioned before, Justin Lewis of Marquette, who averages 17.1 points per game, against Armando Bacot, who is averaging 16.5 points per game. Those are the top scorers for each of these teams. When you look at the rebounding situation, again, Justin Lewis leading the Marquette Golden Eagles in rebounds, averaging just under 8 a game. Armando Bacot also leading UNC with 12.5 rebounds a game. That is incredibly impressive that a guy is averaging nearly 13 rebounds a night. And then from the assist standpoint, you have Tyler Collect for Marquette, who's averaging just under 6 a game. And then Caleb Love for UNC, averaging just under 4 assists a game. This is going to be interesting. The spread right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to bet the money line, right now UNC is favored by -3.5. So again, this is a 9-8 matchup. Usually in these 9-8 matchups are when you get the relatively almost very even teams in the tournament. Again, record-wise, you look at it, Marquette's 19-12, UNC's 24-9. Marquette plays in the Big East. UNC plays in the ACC. But you look at UNC, they've actually had some pretty impressive wins. They were able to not only beat, but relatively manhandle Duke at Duke in Mike Krzyzewski's final game coaching at home. And they really are a force to be reckoned with if they get themselves going here. And again, in the NCAA tournament, the teams that end up, getting themselves going faster are the ones that end up coming away. You got to get on a hot streak right now. This is the perfect time to do it if you want to have any chance of getting yourself an opportunity to win a national championship. The Soda Pod, which covers the Minnesota Wild over on the Hockey Podcast Network, is in the chat. It says, hate the sport. Love to bet on this tournament. What's up, boy? Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well today. And yeah, I know basketball is not everybody's cup of tea. We do have a lot of Canadian support, both here on this channel and certainly over on the Hockey Podcast Network. So a lot of people are not always so big into basketball, but everybody knows how big the NCAA tournament March Madness really is, whether it's from the men's side or the women's side. And there's a lot of good games coming up on the women's side as well. I have a lot of high expectation that Stanford, the defending champions, are going to end up winning it again. I think that they're just overall the best team. And I know that the best team doesn't always win, but sometimes they end up really, really running the table. But you look at today's game, with the matchup predictor, again, I'm getting a lot of this from just looking at it from ESPN's perspective. UNC is predicted, is the favorite by 61.4%. Marquette has it by 38.6%. So this is going to be a really good one. Marquette has only won 2 of its last 5 games. Their last game in which they lost to Creighton, who also was in the tournament back in the Big East tournament. They lost 74-63. You look at North Carolina, who lost to Virginia Tech in the ACC final. Virginia Tech won 72-59, which was definitely impressive. Before that, they had beaten Virginia, blew out Duke, beat Syracuse in overtime, and then beat NC State. So North Carolina winning 4 of its last 5 games. The winner of this game, ladies and gentlemen, will take on number 1 seeded Baylor in the second round on Saturday. So that is going to be very interesting indeed. Brian Anderson and Jim Jackson will be on the call on TV. This game is on TBS, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to watch this game along with us, go over to TBS and you could watch the game with us. And we would absolutely love if you guys could do that. So again, let me know what your score predictions are. Again, like I said, 76-72 is my prediction for UNC to come out on top. Again, Justin Lewis, 23.7 points he's averaging in his last 3 games with a exactly 50% field goal percentage and also averaging exactly 8 rebounds. He's going to be the main reason if Marquette wins to do it. Starting lineups, Tyler Kolek, Daryl Morsell, Justin Lewis, Oliver Maxence Prosper, and Kerr Kuoff. Starting 5 for Marquette. For North Carolina, Caleb Love, RJ Davis, Rekon Black, Brady Manick, and Armando Bacot are the starting 5 for the North Carolina Tar Heels. So this is going to be a good one. This is going to be an exciting one. Very much looking forward to it. Excited to be doing this live watch along with you guys. This is the first of many we're doing for March Madness. Hubert Davis, again, 24-9 in his first year as the head coach of North Carolina. Roy Williams is in the stands watching his former team. Head coach again, Shaka Smart. First season as the Marquette head coach, leading Marquette to a 19-12 record and a berth in the national tournament. Josh Deming says 50 subs is the goal. We're about 7 or 8 away from that. So let's get to 50 subs by the end of this live watch along. That would be absolutely awesome. So like and subscribe, guys. How many March Madness pools you in, Neil? I'm in like 4 or 5 or across a bunch of different apps. But the opening tip is there, and we are underway here in this matchup between North Carolina and Marquette. So this is going to be a fun one here. I'm using Flash Score to kind of show you guys the scores. It's Fro final result only, so that's kind of annoying. But hopefully, if I do have some time, I'll get a different score for you guys so you guys can watch the game along with us and keep up to date with the score. But North Carolina starts with a shot from the left side. They knock it down. So number 5 for North Carolina knocks it down, and the Tar Heels off to a good start here, just 30 seconds in. Marquette making its 34th NCAA tournament appearance, their 11-1 record when making 10 or more three-pointers in a game. So three-point shooting is a big one. They defeated Marquette 67-59 in the I forgot what year that was, but I think it was like in the 90s championship game against North Carolina. So they do have some championship experience against the Tar Heels. So that's kind of interesting. But again, guys, as you can see, Flash Score not really being a big help today as that shot is missed. NCAA championships, North Carolina has 6. Their most recent was back in 2017. So Hubert Lewis is looking to try to help North Carolina win its first championship in 5 years and obviously cap off which will obviously end up being a great first year. So about a minute into this game, 2-0 North Carolina off the rebound. Good block by Marquette, but he follows it up and misses it again. And now Marquette will look to come the other way. Now Marquette into the front court, gets it over to the right side in front of the Marquette bench. 32 with the ball right now. It's getting pinned by number 4. Holds, takes a fadeaway jumper, and it just rims out. It just kind of rolled off the backboard, kind of rolled off the rim and out. So no good there as now North Carolina controls. Now it gets over number 2 with a 3-point shot, and he knocks it down. So there is love with that 3-point shot, and North Carolina off to a quick 5-0 lead. He says, we will get you a new scorecard ASAP. Thank you so much, Isha. Really do appreciate that. We'll try to get that as soon as possible so I can keep you guys with the updated scores. Marquette, a dangerous 3-point shooting team, knocks down a 3. So now it's 5-3 North Carolina. And I was going to mention this before. The biggest way that Marquette's going to win this game, they got to knock down their threes. And they're off to a good start. So they're 1 for 1. As now Love with the ball. He takes a long 3 and he just missed that one. It just rimmed out. Still a pretty good shot, regardless of some good defense by Marquette. And now 22 gets it over to a wide open 12 who takes a 3-point shot and hits it. And Marquette with back-to-back threes. It's Prosper knocking down that one, and Marquette grabs its first lead. 17 and a half minutes to go in the first half, with Marquette up now 6-5. And Marquette, They have gone 11-1 this year, as I mentioned before, 11-1 when they've knocked down 10 or more threes. So if they get their three-point shooting going, it's going to be tough for North Carolina as Love takes a shot, a three-point shot that hits off the back iron. Love gets it back. Nice rip, just a nice move in general, but he just missed off the rebound. Now Marquette with it, 32, wide open three, and he just missed that one. So just rimmed out. So some of these shots are just rimming out for both teams early on in this one. As now number 5 with it gets it off the glass and in. No foul, but still a nice play by number 5 of North Carolina. And the Tar Heels now go back up 7-6 here, just a little over 3 minutes into the first half. Now 35 with a one-handed right hook, and that one goes in. So now Marquette back out in front. So far, right away, back and forth we go as Marquette right now with an 8-7 lead, 16:30 to go in the first half. So now Love again with the ball, gets it over to 45, gets over number 5 who just scored the last bucket, being double teamed, gets it over to his teammate number 4, takes a three. Now one hits off the back iron. Caroline gets it right back for another three-point shot, and they knock it down. Big time three there. I believe that's Love again with a three-point shot, and North Carolina grabs the lead back at 10-8. So now Marquette gets the 32. Three-point shot on the way, and that one just missed off the back rim. So Marquette had an opportunity to get another three, but couldn't score. Carolina comes back the other way. Good defense by Marquette. Now Marquette, number 32 with the ball. Gets it over, being pinned. Good block by 45 of Carolina. And now the Tar Heels come the other way with numbers. Now gets over number 4, the point guard right now, gets it back out top of the three-point line, over to Love. Bounce past number 5. Number 5, spin move, right hook shot. That one just hits off the back iron. And now Marquette will slow it down. 15:25 to go in the first half. There's 22 with a shot for Marquette, and he poorly misses that three-point shot. Didn't even hit the rim. Now number 2 with the ball. Number 2, good screen. Right now, Marquette 3 of 8 from the field as number 1 with a shot, and he misses that. Rebounded by number 5 of Carolina. Carolina now 4 for 14 to start this one from the field. It's now Love trying to dribble it between his legs. Now he streams to the right side of the basket, goes under the rim, still going around in circles, and then takes the right hook, and he misses the net completely, and it's rebounded by Marquette. Josh says, new one is sent in Slack. Thank you so much. Guys, really do appreciate it. Let me pick that up for you guys as we continue to go here. 10-8 right now, North Carolina over Marquette. This is a first-round matchup here in the East region of the NCAA tournament. So again, the winner of this will take on Baylor in round number 2. The defending champions and number 1 seeded Baylor Bears is 45 with a three-point shot, and it just rims out. So again, a lot of these shots, they're just rimming out right now, but still, I think they've been relatively good shots regardless. As give you guys just a moment to fix so I can keep you guys up to date with the score. As number 10 with a shot, he misses completely, and now 45 picks it up for North Carolina. Now Carolina will slow it down again, still 10-8. North Carolina has now missed each of its last 5 shots, so both of these teams they've gone off to a solid start, but they haven't really hit much of anything after that. So now we're going to try here as. So got the shout out to my guys for getting me a new thing here. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So I think we got it going now. Let me share it on screen here. Yep, we got it going now, ladies and gentlemen. So here is the score. As that shot off the back iron is no good. Rebounded by North Carolina. And again, both teams now all of a sudden cannot buy a freaking basket as we're about 7 minutes in, and it has been 10-8 North Carolina for the longest time. So this is kind of been a weird one. It's 45 with a three-point shot, and he completely airballs it. So again, poor shooting. Actually, they called a foul as Brady Manick took that three, but we get our first stoppage of the game just about 7 minutes in. North Carolina with a close 10-8 lead right now over Marquette. And we will step aside for just a moment to get our first word of the evening from our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook. So again, a big shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Basketball Podcast Network. As always, make sure when you sign up for DraftKings to use our promo code in the bottom right corner, TBPN. So we are just about 7 minutes into our contest here, again, between North Carolina and Marquette. This is one of the matchups in the first round in the East region of the national tournament. And it has been 10-8 for the last 3 or 4 minutes as both Marquette and Carolina, who got off to a good start shooting, have both completely bricked their last 5-6 opportunities. So it's not from just good defense. It's just that these guys are not hitting their shots. But maybe they're just trying to get the jitters out since it is the first round of the tournament. They want to get off to a good one. Josh says, new one is sent on Slack. I got it right here. Again, shout out to the boys. Again, a lot of these guys are from Canada, so they're making me use TSN, which is the ESPN equivalent up in Canada. So shout out to those boys. Josh says, Neil, I want to place another bet. Best dark horse in the tournament in your eyes. This is a tough one, but again, I have St. Mary's winning it all, and I know that might sound completely ridiculous to some people, but they are a fifth seed. They've been a really, really strong team, and the two things they do very, very well, Josh, are this. They rebound the ball extremely well, and they hit their free throw shots. And rebounding and free throw shooting, in my opinion, are the two most critical things when it comes to these one-game matchups in the national tournament. So for me, I think the dark horse pick would be a team like St. Mary's. Even picking a team like Marquette or certainly North Carolina would be a dark horse, since neither one of them is probably expected to go very far in this national tournament. But that would be the dark horse picks that I would give you for this one. Tournament summary already. Number 4, Providence defeated 13th ranked South Dakota State 67-57. Second tournament win in the last 25 years for Providence. Number 1, Baylor blew out Norfolk State 85-49. For Baylor, that's the largest NCAA tournament win in program history. And again, the winner of this game that we're doing today, Marquette, North Carolina, will take on Baylor. So the road doesn't get any easier. Quick scoring update also, Gonzaga up 21-16 over Georgia State at just about the halfway point of that game. Isha says, TSN over ESPN, hashtag Oh Canada. You know, in many ways, Isha, I could agree with that. As McMahon takes the free throw shot and knocks it down, so we finally have a little bit of a scoring change. So that's a relief. As they kind of updated here, as that shot also on the three. Again, it was a foul on a three-point shot, so he's got 3 shots here. So it's now 12-8. THPN, like and sub for our boy Neil. Get your questions in as well. Absolutely, guys. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, let us know in the chat and we'll share it here on the screen. Love interacting with you guys. These streams are comment-driven. McMahon knocks down all 3 shots, and so North Carolina now takes a 13-8 lead. And this will update in just a moment. Marquette has gone the last 3:43 without a bucket, 22-23 with a spin move. Then he takes a fadeaway jumper and misses on the left side. McMahon with a rebound, and now North Carolina comes the other way. So North Carolina getting off the screen. Number 4 now has some space deep on the three-point line. Now he takes it to the left side, gets it over to 5. 5 back out the top to number 4 at the top of the three-point line on the left side. Before it gets it over to Love. Love to Bacan. Bacan now gets it back out to Love at the three-point line. Takes a three-point shot, and he misses it on the right side. And then we get a foul call here. Looks like it's going to be against Marquette, I want to say. Not sure exactly here. So we'll wait for a second here. Jacob says, he says TSN over ESPN as well. Hockey Podcast there, it says we need the 20th like. Absolutely, 100%, guys. If you guys can get us to 20, 30 likes by the end of this live watch along, that would absolutely be sick. Would love that. We are currently at 18 likes. So, guys, continue to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch alongs that we do here. As North Carolina knocks down a 3, I believe is number 4 to knock that one down. And so North Carolina now up 16-8. Another missed shot by Marquette. And now Carolina looks to try to push the envelope. Number 1, nice pass to McMahon, and he slams it with 2 hands. It's an 11-0 run for the Tar Heels in the last 4 minutes, 22 seconds. Black to man on the nice slam. Just a good bounce pass with the right hand. Gets it to man, and with 2 hands, The bearded center slams it home. And so we get a timeout by Marquette. So North Carolina starting to get themselves going here as they built now an 8-point lead. So we'll see out of the timeout if Marquette can get themselves going. They have not scored a bucket in almost the last 5 minutes. They have to start getting buckets soon, or this one's going to get ugly really, really quickly. But we will step aside for just a moment to get another quick word from our sponsors. So once again, a big shout out to our sponsors for at DraftKings Sportsbook. We're sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Basketball Podcast Network. And as always, guys, make sure when you sign up for DraftKings to use our promo code TBPN. So right now it's 18-8. It's 18-8 North Carolina as North Carolina has gone on an 11-0 run in the last 4 minutes, 22 seconds. Marquette just called a timeout. So Shaka Smart has to be smart here and come up with a good game plan to try to get Marquette scoring going here. They got off to a decent start, but then both of these teams went cold for 3 or 4 minutes where it was 10-8 for the longest time. And Marquette has now gone over 5 minutes without making a bucket. So, again, Marquette has to find a way here to get themselves going. Josh says, well, after this start, I may put a bet on North Carolina. It's honestly not that bad of a bet because North Carolina is one of those blue bloods. They've been able to recruit really talented players. And honestly, they're one of those teams where you look at it and you say they're an 8 seed, right? And so that's one of those things where they have a relatively difficult stretch to get to the final. Again, after this, if they do win this game, they play number 1 Baylor. So that's obviously going to be a matchup that's going to be very difficult. But in my opinion, if North Carolina can get past Baylor and move on to the Sweet 16, I mean, they are, in my opinion, almost a lock to certainly have a chance to go to the Final Four. And you don't want a team like North Carolina to get themselves rolling. Because even in 2017, if I remember correctly, they weren't even one of the favorites to win it all. Went on to the national championship game and beat Gonzaga. So obviously, there's always the possibility. This is not really an upset if North Carolina I guess it would be more of an upset if Marquette wins, but not really for North Carolina. Again, 52nd tournament appearance for North Carolina. It's the 11th straight year that they have made it. Hubert Davis, who I believe did play in the NBA, he certainly did play for North Carolina back in the day. He gets his opportunity to have his dream job, basically, and be able to be the guy that ends up taking over for the legendary Roy Williams. But Josh, honestly, taking a bet on North Carolina to maybe make a run is not a bad one. As now number 10 with a 3-point shot and he misses. And now exactly Marquette has gone 5 minutes without making a bucket. So things are getting ugly here for the Golden Eagles as number 4 gets it over to number 1. One bounce pass, loses the ball, and it's taken away by Marquette. And now Marquette, with a little bit of decent numbers, comes the other way. Number 1 now gets it over to 32, over to the right 3-point side, gets the 32 again. 32 gets to 13, just inside 3-point line, back to 32, who gets it over to 13 again, off the backboard and in. So Marquette, with 11:08 to go in the first half, finally gets themselves a bucket after going over 5 minutes without scoring, and now they're only down 18-10. So that was a good shot there to get themselves, to finally get Marquette back on the score sheet. As now Love again open for 3, and he knocks it down. Love again with a nice 3-point shot, and Carolina responds with that 2 with another 3 of their own, and they extend the lead to 21-10. Carolina so far 4-11 from the 3-point line, as now Marquette with a 3-point shot, and that one hits off the back iron. As now Marquette is now 4 for 12 from the 3-point, I think it was like 2 for 8 or 2 for 9 so far. So the 3-point shot, which is Marquette's biggest strength, has not been with them here in this one so far as number 5. He gets the ball slapped out of his hands. No foul calls. That ball will just be out of bounds off of Marquette. So it'll stay North Carolina basketball. But again, you see Love open for three, no doubt about it, right through the net, not even hitting the rim, and he knocks it down. A big one there. Isha says, North Carolina, always a strong program. No, 100%, Isha. You nailed it right on the head, buddy. I mean, at the end of the day, it's definitely, it's what they call, that's why they call them one of the Blue Bloods. They're a team that for a long, long time has been able to have sustained success and be one of the best programs in college basketball history. And you look at it and you just say to yourself that I think also they're kind of like a cool team, so to speak. I think it's cool. Obviously, Michael Jordan went there. James Worthy went there, to name like, two really big ones. Sam Perkins went there as well. I mean, they've had great Hall of Fame players go to Raleigh, North Carolina to play for the Tar Heels. And now, obviously, Michael Jordan with his Jordan brand has sponsored a lot of teams, but he obviously mainly sponsors University of North Carolina. They're wearing Jordan uniforms, which are very cool. Just very, very cool indeed. And they certainly have a very strong program. THPN said, nailed the 20 likes. Thank you guys so much for getting us there. Let's continue to get more likes here. And again, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, leave a like on the stream as well as subscribe and punch notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch alongs that we do here on the Basketball Podcast Network. And if you do subscribe and you're new, let me know in the chat so I could shout you out here on the stream. So this has so far been a solid game. North Carolina kind of taking Marquette's game, shoving it back in their face. They've knocked down a couple of three-point shots. They're out three-point shooting the Golden Eagles so far. Golden Eagles have knocked down just 2 3-point shots to start this game, but they got to get themselves going here and get some defensive stops because they've left some guys on North Carolina wide open to knock down some jumpers. So that's kind of an interesting thing. But I also want to say this. Stay tuned for the halftime report because I'm gonna give you guys some history, some fun facts. It's going to be a lot of fun. And as always, guys, any questions, comments, anything like that, predictions for other games going on, let me know in the chat, and I will gladly bring it up here on the stream, and we can interact. Because as I say all the time, but it's very true, these live watch-alongs are comment-driven. So if you guys are in here commenting and interacting with me, it keeps the chat going, and we absolutely love it and appreciate all of you guys 100%. And I should also mention this. For those of you that don't know, for those of you that obviously people on the Hockey Podcast Network know that I do this, but for people who are new here on the basketball side, I like to, for the most part, have a glass of my family's homemade wine during every single live watch along that I do. So obviously today is no different. I'm drinking a nice glass of white wine, which is great, absolutely great, very, very light. It's very good. The taste is wonderful. I think this is from this past fall when we made it. So I'm really enjoying it. And again, enjoying interacting with all of you guys. 10:15 to go in the first half. Again, North Carolina off to a good start, currently up 21-10. So we're back to the action here. Number 4 now gets it back out to center court. Gets a screen by man, good screen by man, but then 4 gets stopped by 13 of Marquette. 4 trying to make some moves, holds it, lose the ball for a second, and then fires it off the glass, and it almost went in. That would have been one hell of a basket if you made it, but it just hit off the front rim after it hit the glass. Rebounds, offensive and defensive. Right now, North Carolina with 6 offensive rebounds to Marquette's none, and that 3-point shot by Marquette just rims out. So bad break there. But now number 4 with it, gets it over to Love. Love, another long 3, and he hits the front rim. But a good rebound by number 1 of North Carolina. Gets it back to Love, open for another 3, and this time he knocks it down. It's Love again, knocking it down, and North Carolina continues to have a stranglehold on this one early as they're up 24-10, 9:20 and ticking to go here in the first half. So Marquette again really struggling to start this one, as Marquette's made just 1 field goal in its last 13, make it now 14 attempts, as that one off the glass rims out. Love gets it over to a streaking 1. Behind the back pass to number 4. He gets knocked down by a player from Marquette, no foul, and now North Carolina will slow it down with just a little under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Number 4 with the ball right now gets it over to 3 of North Carolina. Carolina's on a 17-2 scoring run in the last 7.5 minutes. Man with a three-point shot, and he knocks it down. As now, Man makes another 3 for the Tar Heels, and they're continuing to run away with this one. It's now 27-10 as Carolina is knocking down its three-point shots. Again, they are taking Marquette's game and shoving it right back in their face because Marquette this year is 11-1 when they've made 10 or more three-point shots. Caleb Love, the story of this one so far, he's knocked down, I think, 3 or 4 three-point attempts already in this one. He is looking like he's going to end up having a big-time game here, helping the Tar Heels get themselves a big victory in the first round. So now we get the ball coming out. Caleb Love, 12 points, 4 of 8 from downtown so far in this one. Isha says, love the Neil Villapiano wine cellar segment. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun doing that with you guys and obviously talking with my old man, Papa Villapiano. And definitely go check out that episode, guys, with the soda pot. It's a great one. As North Carolina knocks down a jumper, and so now they're able to score. It's now 27-12 Tar Heels. And Caleb Love, another three-point shot, and he just rimmed out. But a good rebound by McCon. He tried to put it back up. Good defense by Marquette. Then it's swatted out of bounds. It'll stay Tar Heel ball. But honestly, not a bad shot from Love, who has been certainly pretty hot since this game started. Almost knocked down his 5th 3 of the game. Josh says, Neil, would you judge me if I said I didn't like wine? No, I wouldn't judge you as Bacan was going to take a free throw shot and he makes it. No, honestly, here's the thing, Josh. I actually had a lot of my friends over last weekend and not all of them, I don't think any of them are wine people. I'm like one of the few people that I know of my age that are more wine people than beer people. I mean, I like my IPAs, do not get me wrong. But honestly, wine's much more at my level. So so it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, Josh. I do not judge you at all if you don't like wine. It's perfectly fine. Armando Bacan has 25 double-doubles on the season. We'll see if he can get his 26th here today. He knocked down both free throw attempts, 29-12 now, North Carolina, as North Carolina's 5 for 5 from the free throw line, which makes me happy. As now a couple of opportunities for Marquette, 3 or 4 chances they couldn't score, got it back again, and that one got blocked by Manick and out of bounds. It'll stay Golden Eagles ball. Couple of great opportunities there for Marquette, but just better defense by the Tar Heels to deny them several times. And we'll get another time out here. 7:38 to go in the first half. Carolina firmly in control right now, leading it 29-12. And we'll step aside for a moment to get another quick word from our sponsors. So again, a big shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Basketball Podcast Network. Make sure, guys, as always, when you sign up for DraftKings, and you really should right now with all the opportunities that DraftKings has to offer for March Madness, use our promo code TBPN. So again, if you're just joining us, my name is Neil Villapiano. I'm the host of the Bridge to the Nets podcast here on the Basketball Podcast Network, which covers the Brooklyn Nets. New episodes every single Friday. And welcome to the first of many NCAA tournament live watch-alongs that we're doing here on the network. We are doing right now North Carolina and Marquette. The Tar Heels off to a great start led by Caleb Love. And right now it is 29-12 North Carolina. I will be back here basically at the same time tomorrow as I'll be doing another first round matchup in this tournament. It'll be Texas versus Virginia Tech. So another matchup with an ACC team. Looking forward to that one and looking forward to interacting with all of you guys for the rest of this one and also that one tomorrow. Give me 1 second to check something here. Just had to check something there. But again, we're just coming back from commercial break. And I mentioned this before. Again, you look at Marquette. Marquette's biggest strength all year long has been the three-point shot. And right now, they've only hit 2 3-point shots and have really, really struggled in general shooting from the field. So again, especially when you're a team looking to maybe have an upset against a very talented blue blood team like North Carolina, you have to come out and play your best game. And right now, Marquette, I don't want to say they're playing scared, but they're certainly coming out with not a lot of confidence, really struggling from the field in general. And as a result, they have really allowed North Carolina to get themselves going here. Shaka Smart, who I believe was the head coach at the University of Texas for a long time. I know he was the head coach for Jared Allen for a while, or excuse me, that was, I believe that was Shaka Smart. He's also 7-8 in his career in the NCAA tournament. He did lead VCU to the Final Four back in 2011, so he does have a really good amount of experience in general in the tournament here. He's going to have to use that to help this young Marquette team get themselves back in this one. As 22 feeds it over to 12, fakes a three-point shot, good move, and he just slams it home, passing man easily there and dunking it. And then Marquette is able to get themselves going right off the timeout. It's now 29-14. North Carolina here with 7:18 to go in the first half. Pecan gets over to 14 and a great block by Marquette's number 10 there. He denies 14 of Carolina to score. Ball goes out of bounds, so it will remain Tar Heel basketball. Interestingly enough also, because I was talking about the Jordan brand and obviously Michael Jordan sponsoring a lot with North Carolina, Marquette also has Jordan brand attire as well. So obviously I'm sure Michael Jordan is making a lot of money off of this game by just sponsorships. Marquette has 5 blocks to North Carolina's 1. So that's one thing that Marquette has done better so far than North Carolina's. Number 4 feeds it off to his teammate for a 3-point shot, and that rainbow shot goes down. Good shot there by number 14 after he got blocked moments ago. He knocks down the 3. It's now 32-14 North Carolina as a shot there by Marquette off the 3. Hits off the backboard and goes out. Is now number 1, gets it back to 4 here. Carolina with the ball. Number 4 with the 3-point shot. That one hits the front of the rim. It's rebounded by the Golden Eagles. Eagles will slow it down here. So 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Marquette with the ball. Nice screen there. Gets it up with the floater, and that one hits off and goes out. So now North Carolina comes the other way. Number 4 with the ball. Tried to get off a screen. Good defense by 22. Gets it to man. Man inside the Pecan. Pecan on the left side. Fakes a jumper and then goes off the glass and in and scores. And it's now exactly a 20-point lead for the Tar Heels. 34-14 right now with 6 minutes to go in the opening half. 32. Drives the lane. Gets blocked. And now Carolina tried to lead the break, but it's intercepted by 10 of Marquette. Gets to the 32, goes to the left side, comes inside, gets off the glass and in, and he's fouled by man. So 32 of Marquette will go to the free throw line to try to complete the and one there. So it's now 34-16 North Carolina. Good job there off the takeaway. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, Richmond is up by 4 points, 63-59 over Iowa with 27 seconds to go in the game. So we could potentially get our first major upset of the tournament, which I'm sure will certainly burst a lot of people's brackets. Daryl Morcell is at the free throw line for the and one as he misses the and one there. So Marquette's first free throw attempt is no good. And I will say this 100%. Out of all the people in the world, I am such a stickler for free throw shooting. I think it's the most important part of any basketball game, regardless of whether it's, youth, AAU, high school, college, the NBA, whatever. It's just, to me, if you're not making at least 85 to 90% of your free throws, you're not doing your job. You have to. And it drives me up the freaking wall. The amount of games, the amount of games that end up being won or lost by a point or two, and you look at the free throw shooting and you say, well, if you'd made at least 1 or 2 of your free throws, this wouldn't have happened, this, that, and the other thing. And Marquette's not off to a good start as they're 0 for 1 from the free throw line, while North Carolina's actually 5 of 5. as now we get a backcourt violation on Caleb Love. And and Marcel has some choice words, a little bit of pushing and shoving there, as I want to see if they end up calling a technical on either team. But you can see Marquette getting a little bit frustrated here, as they haven't gotten off to a good start in this one, have really struggled. Good job by Marcel to force Caleb Love to do the to end up doing the over the back, or end up getting the backcourt violation. So no technical fouls or anything. Marquette with the basketball. Number 12, trying to dribble through some defender, gets over to 10. Now back out to 22, top of the key. 22 off the screen, gets it over to number 12. He takes a three-point shot from the right side, and he knocks it down. So a good job there as Marquette knocks down just its third three-pointer of this first half. It's Prosper, who has scored 11 of the 19 points. He is 4 of 4 from the field, 3 of 3 from downtown. Caleb gets over to Man. Man, three-point shot, and he knocks it down, as Man responds right back with a three-pointer of his own, and North Carolina back up by 18, 37-19. Manic now with 11 points, and now a slam dunk by 35 of Marquette. But I believe they may have called an offensive foul. I'm not sure here exactly what the call is, as Kurth was the one that ended up making that dunk. We'll see here if they did call a foul. Maybe they called a delay of game. Might have called a delay of game on Kurth. I think that might have ended up being the reason. I'm not sure, because everybody reacted after the dunk was already happened. So I think the basket does count, but I think they ended up calling a delay of game, I want to say. So it looks like it is a delay of game against Marquette's number 21, Kurth. So I think so. Let's see. Actually, no, they called a technical foul against Kurth. Not sure why, but Caleb Love missed the three-point shot. Kuwath was the one that got called for the technical foul, but Love missed the free throw attempt. And so it remains 37-21 with 4:47 remaining here in the first half, as North Carolina right now still in very good control, but Marquette is slowly sort of starting to get their scoring here, as now Marquette brings the press and North Carolina easily breaks out of it and gets into the offensive zone. Number 4 with the ball now, drops it over to McCon. McCon back to Love. Love fakes a three-point shot, goes up the right side, dribbling through defenders. He gets hit, and there's a foul call there. Looks like it most likely will be a shooting foul. And then Love trying to get away from Marcel, who's talking some more smack. Marcel and Love have been going at it for the last couple of minutes. So obviously it's something to keep an eye on throughout the rest of this one. But again, a foul call here against the Golden Eagles. And so Love, who just missed the technical free throw shot, will shoot 2 here. His first free throw attempt is up and in, so it's now 38-21 as Love continues to be the main guy on offense so far for the Tar Heels, right with Manic right behind him. As now Love with the second free throw attempt is up, and it goes through. So Love makes those 2 free throw shots, and now give North Carolina a 39-21 lead. 4:20 blaze it to go here in the first half, as 22 trying to feed it over to number 13 and Marquette goes out of bounds. So now it'll be Tar Heel basketball. So again, Marquette, they got it to the slow start, and even though, yes, they've sort of gotten themselves going here, North Carolina just responds every single time. There's only been 5 turnovers so far in this game, with 3 being to North Carolina, as Manic with another 3 that hits the back iron. And now here comes Kuwath. He holds it, gets it over to 13. Marquette will look to try to do it as 13 loses the ball. Intercepted by North Carolina. They look to try to come with numbers. McCon dances through 2 defenders. He misses the shot. Follow-up try by Manic. He lays it up and in. And Manic gets himself a lead. Now it's 15 points for Manic. And North Carolina is back up by 20 here, 41-21. And a timeout here by Shaka Smart, who has some choice words. He wanted to travel against McCon, but the ref did not call it. And so we end up getting a timeout here with 3:43 as, you can make the argument that I think McCon might have taken 1 extra step there, but the ref ended up not deciding to call it there and allows Manic to score. So 3:43 to go in the first half of our game. North Carolina in control right now, leading 41-21 over Marquette. And we will step aside for another moment to get another word from our sponsors. So again, as always, guys, a big shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Basketball Podcast Network. As always, guys, when you sign up for DraftKings, make sure to use our promo code, which you can see in the bottom right corner here, TBPN. A lot of great offers right now, especially with March Madness getting underway. You guys definitely got to jump on it. DraftKings is the number one place for sports betting in the United States. These guys do an amazing job with all the offers that they give. And I promise you, you sign up, use our promo code, you're going to find some really, really good opportunities to bet on some games like this one and get yourself a huge amount of money. And also just a bunch of wins in cash prizes if sports betting is not yet legal in your state or area. So we got 3:43 to go in the first half of this one. North Carolina has pretty much, since I would say the 5-minute mark of this first half, has pretty much been in control. It started off with both teams kind of trading buckets. Then we went about 3 or 4 minutes in which it was 10-8 Tar Heels for the longest time, but then, led by Caleb Love, you started to see North Carolina make some threes, knock down shots. Manick also really doing well. Pecan getting some really good offensive rebounds. And Marquette has just been really struggling from the field in general and not being able to do what they need to do. So they really have been struggling. So again, Marquette needs to find a way here, if they can, for the next 3 minutes, 43 seconds, to go on something like an 8-10-0 run. If you could try to get the deficit to at least 10, or even, if you want to think crazy, get it under double digits before the end of the half, that would be a major, major W for Shaka Smart and his Golden Eagles team. And I think you got to give Shaka Smart a lot of credit that in his first year at Marquette, first year in the Big East, he's been able to lead this team to almost a 20-win season and get them into the NCAA tournament. But obviously, the matchup that they have is not ideal, considering they're facing one of the most dangerous teams going into this tournament in the North Carolina Tar Heels. And so far in this game, as you're seeing, Marquette, I don't mean to be critical, but it does feel like that they've been struggling. A technical foul was given to Shaka Smart, the head coach of Marquette. So the second technical foul against the Golden Eagles in this first half, as now number 4 will take the free throw shot, and he'll miss it. So North Carolina has knocked down 7 of its 9. Actually, it's 2 free throw shots for the technical foul, since I guess it's the second technical foul against Marquette. Number 4 takes the second one and he knocks it down. So North Carolina has knocked down just 1 of its 3 technical foul free throws. But they've been able to have pretty decent. They've knocked down 8 of 10 free throw shots so far in this one. 42-21 now is our score, largest lead of the game so far for the Tar Heels. And Marquette almost lost the ball. Now they lose it. There's a scramble on the floor. And they end up calling a jump ball, and the arrow is pointing to the Golden Eagles, so it'll stay Marquette ball, 42-21. Caleb Love and Marcel again with choice words for one another after the whistle. They've been going at it the last handful of minutes here, so obviously that is something that, and oh my goodness, Marcel had Caleb Love in a chokehold for a second there. He had his arm right under the neck of Love. I'm not sure how in the world that wasn't a foul there, or a flagrant foul against Marcel, who has really, really just tried to get under the skin of Love. But then again, it hasn't really mattered because, number 1, Love is still knocking down threes and knocking down shots in general, and North Carolina's up by 21. So I really don't know what the point of this is. But looks like we're getting an official review for a potential here. The question is, with all the technical fouls and potential flagrant fouls that Marquette has gotten, does Marcel get thrown out of the game for this? We'll see in just a moment here. Again, 3.5 minutes to go in the first half with Carolina up 42-21. What's going on, Shane Van Nice? Thank you so much, boss man. Good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Leave a like on the stream as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. It helps out the channel tremendously. He said, I picked Marquette. That's honestly not the worst decision in the world. Again, it's a 9-8 matchup, and you never know what could happen in these national tournament games. But right now, Marquette, who lives and dies by the three-point shot has failed them tremendously so far in this one. And as a result, they are currently down by 21 points. So again, we're waiting for official word here. As again, on the last play, Marcel actually had Caleb Love in a chokehold, like he had his arm like right here under the neck. And honestly, that could end up being something where Marcel could get thrown out of the game for, which would be a really stupid way to get thrown out of a game, only because it was just a dumb decision to do. I don't know what was going through Marcel's head. It's really kind of a weird thing. He was trying to grab the ball. Then he ended up just grabbing Caleb Love by the neck. And Caleb Love got right up and started yelling at Marcel. Marcel kind of looked at him like, what did I do? What did I do? It's always one of those stupid, like, oh, what did I do moments. It's like, you know what you did. You know what you did. Just have to plug in here since I'm a little bit low on my battery. So 1 second. There we go. So the refs are talking again here. We'll see as, again, they were looking to see if it's a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2. And if it is a flagrant 1, it'll be 2 shots, ball to North Carolina. If it's a flagrant 2, it'll be ball, I think 2 shots, and also an ejection. So we'll see here what they end up saying here. The ref is talking to the scoreboard operator right now. As Marcel is sitting on the bench, what do they end up calling here? I unfortunately, because of copyright and stuff like that, I have the game on mute. So I have to wait to see if they can actually show it on the screen. Because I believe they did call another, well, not a technical. They did call a flagrant foul. The question is it a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2? As Caleb Love will be the man that shoots the free throw shots. North Carolina's knocked down just 1 of 3 of these type of shots. Knocked down, and again, Caleb Love with another missed free throw. Okay, I'm starting to get pissed off that these guys are missing this many. Love with the second free throw attempt, and he twishes it. So he makes 1 out of 2 there to make it now 43-21, North Carolina. Marcel actually ended up getting just a technical foul, not a flagrant. So that is the 3rd technical foul against Marquette in this first half. So Kawak got the first, Shaka Smart, the head coach, got the second, and then Marcel got the third. Free throws right now, North Carolina 9 of 12, Marquette 0 of 1. As Manek with a long 3 while he was guarded, misses. McCann got the rebound and got the ball slapped out of his hand by number 13 of Marquette. And it'll stay North Carolina basketball. 3:16 to go here in the first half. Carolina firmly in control. North Carolina has 11 offensive rebounds to Marquette's 3. So offensive rebounding has been a big difference in this one. So number 4 gets it over to Caleb Love. Love thought about a 3. Now he takes a long 3-point shot and he knocks it down again. Caleb Love with his 5th 3-point attempt of the first half. And it's now 46-21. Love, 5 of 11 from the field, 5 of 10 for 3-point, and he's got 18. So all 5 of his shots he's made have been 3-point shots, and 32 with a shot that he misses for Marquette. Number 1 tried to keep it in for North Carolina, but they actually ended up saying it went off of Marquette last. So it'll be North Carolina basketball, 2:45 to go in the first half. 46-21 now is our score between North Carolina and Marquette here in the first round of the East region of the NCAA Men's National Tournament. 9-0 run in the last 2 minutes for the Tar Heels. And now we get, I believe, a foul call here against Marquette, or maybe he stepped out of bounds. Not sure exactly. He's just in the chat. He says, ouch, Shane. Yeah, that prediction for Shane, who picked Marquette, is not looking so good right now. But who knows? Maybe something will change. Maybe Marquette will get on a major run. Number 4 fakes a 3-point shot, goes inside. Try to get it. Nice spin move over Love. He takes a floater, and that one goes in. So a nice move there by number 4 of Marquette and scores. It's now 46-23 North Carolina. Shane Van Nice says he picked the Michigan State Spartans to get to the Elite 8. That's kind of interesting. I actually have Michigan State making it to the second round, but then ultimately losing to Duke because as much as obviously, my dad went to Michigan State, big Michigan State fan. This has been a rebuilding year for Tom Izzo's team. And even though I think they'll definitely beat Dayton, I think that they'll have their hands full with a very talented Duke Blue Devils team. They might, Duke might get some calls because it is Duke. But hey, if they win, if they get to the Elite Eight at least, that would be pretty good in a year where I don't think Michigan State was projected to do much of anything. So now Baco will shoot the free throw shots. He takes this one and he knocks it down. So he makes the 1-and-1 there, makes it now 47-23 with 1:59 to go in the first half. Slow moving here as Armando Baco has 9 points, 8 rebounds. Takes a second free throw shot and he makes both. So 10 points, 8 rebounds. So Baco is just 2 rebounds away from his 26th double-double of the year. Very impressive year for Armando Baco. Gets to the 12, goes inside at the free throw line, gets to the 22 on the right side now. Now he takes a long 3-point shot and he front rims that one, and it ends up going over the backboard and out of bounds. And so it will go to North Carolina here. 1:40 to go in the first half. North Carolina with a commanding 48-23 lead right now. So even my prediction where I said 76-72, North Carolina, it's not even looking that good as North Carolina easily breaks us the press. But Cole tried to dunk it. Good block there by Marquette. Marquette's gone over 2 minutes as they're on another scoring drought. Number 10 with a long 3-point shot. He misses. Rebounded. Well, actually, no. Baco let it go, and it'll be out of bounds off of Marquette. So Baco tried to get the dunk there, but good job by 35. I believe that's Kuwath with the block. Good job nonetheless to get that block. That's the 6th block for the Golden Eagles. As now again, North Carolina with the press. Number 1 gets it over to Manning. He lobs up to Baco. He tried to get the alley-oop dunk, but Baco just gets it to slow it down. As now number 4 with it now for North Carolina gets a screen from Manick. Gets over to Baco. Baco looking for somebody. Gets to Caleb Love. Caleb Love, another long 3-point attempt, and he knocks it down again. Oh my goodness, Caleb Love will not be denied as he knocks down his 6th 3-pointer of the half. He's got 21 here in the first half as Kuwath responds with a floater on the right hand and goes in. 51-23 now, North Carolina with 40 seconds, 51-26 now, North Carolina, 38 seconds to go, and a timeout here by North Carolina. Kind of an interesting decision nonetheless, but Caleb freaking Love, the man of the hour right now for the Tar Heels. 21 points in the first, 21 points in the first half. Unbelievable first half from one of the top players for this Tar Heels team. So we'll step aside for just a moment to get one more word in the first half from our sponsors. So once again, a big shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Basketball Podcast Network. When you sign up for DraftKings, guys, as always, make sure you use our promo code, which you can see in the bottom right corner here, TBPN. 37.3 to go in the first half. North Carolina with a commanding 51-25 lead. Caleb Love with 6 3-point attempts as 6 3-pointers made for a total of 21 points. North Carolina currently with 11 offensive rebounds to Marquette's 3. Also, North Carolina is outscoring Marquette in second chance points 21-2. That shot gets blocked by Marquette, and now Marquette will be able to hold it for the last shot with 13 seconds to go. 22, looking for a screen, gets to the 10. 10 drives the lane on Manning. He goes off the glass, misses, rebounded by Baco, fires it down to number 1. 3 seconds, one last attempt, and a good block there. But I believe they're going to call goaltending. They will. It's going to be against Kuwath. So it'll be a goaltending against Kuwath, and it's now 53-25 with 1.5 seconds to go. 12 gets the ball, heaves it from half court, and misses it completely. And that will do it for the first half here of this one. The Tar Heels with a commanding 53-25 lead. Justin Lewis, Marquette's top scorer, has 0 points. A man who's been averaging 17 points a game has been basically handled 100% as he has no points in the first half. So obviously, this one feels like it's pretty much all but done, but it is March Madness. Anything can happen, and we'll see what type of response Marquette has in the first half.
I have a quick announcement.
What?
My bracket's busted.
Your bracket's busted? Why? Because Iowa lost?
Iowa.
Yeah, dude, so much for Iowa. As Iowa ended up getting knocked out by, who'd they get knocked out by?
Richmond.
By Richmond. So the Richmond Spiders with the first upset of the tournament as they knock out the number 5 seeded Iowa Hawkeyes. That is already the second Big Ten team to be knocked out of the tournament. Rutgers was the first. They lost last night, and now Iowa goes today. So Big Ten still got some teams in it, but not what you want to see with teams already getting eliminated before the tournament really gets underway. Shane says, the most fun I had watching March Madness was 2010, where this bench guy Sumner's on Michigan State, 5th seed, kept hitting 3 after 3 against Maryland, 4th seed, and I was the only person in my pool that picked Michigan State. Shane, you must have gotten a pretty decent amount of money for putting some money down on Michigan State. That is awesome, man. My dad would certainly appreciate you since you love that. Shane says, what about Michigan versus Colorado State? Well, Michigan was down by as many as 15 in that game against Colorado State, but actually came all the way back to win by 12, and they have moved on to the next round. So Michigan, an 11th seed, upsetted because it really didn't feel like an upset, but Michigan came away with the victory over Colorado State to move on to the next round. So Michigan is still alive as of right now. But again, guys, it's a pretty ugly first half with the Tar Heels easily up right now by 28 points. And if you're Hubert Davis, I guess the question is simply, you just gotta, I guess at this point you could be okay with trading baskets, because if you're trading baskets, there's no way that Marquette can make any sort of comeback here. So I think that it's definitely going to be tough, but at least for right now, it certainly looks like North Carolina is on its way to a pretty decisive victory and looking to move on to take on Baylor in round number 2. But we will step aside before we continue here. We'll get a chance for me to catch my breath and everything and get another word from our sponsors. So welcome everybody to the halftime report here of this live watch along here in the NCAA Men's National Tournament. North Carolina with a decisive 53-25 lead over Marquette. Caleb Love with 21 points. So all of them have come from the three-point line, 6 3-pointers. And then you have Brady Manick with 13 points of his own, knocking down a couple of three-point shots. And look, guys, at the end of the day, you really don't know at times which are going to be the good games and when the ones that end up being a blowout. Again, when I looked at this game, it was a 9-8 matchup that maybe had the chance to be somewhat of a close game, but Marquette with probably one of the worst first halves that they've had all season long. And obviously, this is not the right time to be having a bad first half. Really struggled from the field. They weren't hitting their three-point shots like they've been doing all year long. Again, they're 11-1 this season when they knocked down 10 or more. Right now, they've only knocked down 3, I believe, in the first half. It's not good. It is not good at all. So I think, honestly, barring some crazy comeback, which if it can happen, if it's going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen in this tournament. It looks like that North Carolina will go on its way to a decisive victory and take on Baylor in round number 2. That should really be, if North Carolina ends up definitely coming out on top in this one, that should be a really interesting second round matchup between the defending champion Baylor Bears and a blue blood team that could very well come through with an upset and really do some damage in the North Carolina Tar Heels. And I think you got to give a lot of credit to Hubert Davis for having such a really, really good, I guess you'd say just like a really, really good first season as the head coach. Again, look, Roy Williams, I don't think people were totally surprised that he ended up retiring, saying last year was his last year. But I think because of the COVID situation, everything like that, I think it was just an easy opportunity for him to exit stage right and just kind of hang it up in what was a Hall of Fame coaching career. I mean, you think about this. You went from Dean Smith, arguably one of the top 5 greatest coaches in college basketball history, and maybe even if you want to go deeper in basketball history, to then you get Roy Williams for a very, very long time as well, another guy who's one of the best coaches of all time, and you replace, well, I hate to say the word replace, you have Hubert Davis who comes in after that, a former player, I think Hubert Davis played for Roy Williams, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was either at the end of Dean Smith's time in when he was coaching or just when Roy Williams was coaching. So let me actually look that up so I can figure it out here. Hubert Davis, who he played back in, give me a second here. The last time he played, by the way, I think was back in 2003. Yeah, his last year in the NBA was when he played 17 games in total in conclusion with the Detroit Pistons and the New Jersey Nets. So that's kind of a fun. He started with the Knicks between 1995 and 1992 and 1995. As far as from a college standpoint, they just not to show you exactly when he played for North Carolina, but I think what is certainly important is for North Carolina to have themselves a guy who has ended up, who has been in the program. He knows what it takes. He knows what the expectations are. He understands the history and things like that. I think that's really important. By the way, guys, I mentioned this just a few moments ago, but we had our first major upset of the tournament as Richmond, a 12th seed, knocked off number 5 Iowa 67-63 to move on to the second round. So my bracket is busted since I had freaking Iowa going to the Elite Eights. That kind of shows you how much I knew. But the Richmond Spiders with the first major upset, and I don't think it'll be the only one. I don't think it will be the only one. So let's see what happens here as we'll look here as Hubert Davis played for the North Carolina Tar Heels between 1988 and 1992. So we'll see here. Let's see here. Dean Smith. When did he stop coaching? He stopped coaching in 1997. So if that's the case, 1997. Yeah, so Hubert Davis did play for the legendary Dean Smith. And I know that Roy Williams for a long time was actually an assistant coach for Dean Smith. So again, North Carolina's keeping it more or less in the family when it comes to their coaches. And Hubert Davis, I don't think he had a whole lot of coaching experience prior to coming to Actually, he was an assistant coach for North Carolina between 2012 and obviously up until last year, and then took over. So they hired within their coaching staff Hubert Davis. He's a former player, had a really, really good career at North Carolina, and obviously he does have some understanding and familiarity with coaching for North Carolina. And even though he's never been a head coach, he's done a really good job. He's done a really good job in his first year. He's got the Tar Heels playing at a very high level right now. And again, they're a team that I think you could definitely put some money down. And again, if you do, sign up with DraftKings and use our promo code TBPN. I really think that you give yourself a really good opportunity to maybe make a decent run. But certainly after this one, unless Marquette makes a major comeback, you're taking on Baylor, defending champions. They are rocking and rolling. They blew out Norfolk State earlier today. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a major challenge. Jacob said all those fights in the first, Jacob says all those fights in the first would not happen if they played in the NBA because all the NBA players would bitch slap them all. Yeah, probably not. I mean, there's not a lot of fights that end up happening in the NBA anymore. But this isn't even really, honestly, that wasn't even really much of fighting, as is more of just words and just pushing and shoving. That was pretty much all we got. This isn't like the 80s and 90s where guys would just straight up, right hook one another and do things like that. So, I don't really, I think though, that, I mean, look, the NBA players are at a much different level than the college players. That's for damn sure. Shane says he picked Iowa to get to the Sweet 16, so got another guy whose bracket has already been busted, but that comes with the territory, as Kenny the Jet Smith actually just stood up and looked down on Charles Barkley, which is kind of funny, but yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how many perfect brackets we still have, and granted, it's still early in the year, so we'll see. It's still early in the tournament, so we'll see. Shane says right now Georgia State and Gonzaga is in a tight game. It is currently a 2-point game. I think that game's on what, TNT, I want to say? Yeah, it's the channel right below ours. So we'll flip over to that really quickly. Yeah, it is currently now 39-37 Gonzaga over Georgia State as we just got underway in the second half. Now it's 41-37. So there is that. So obviously, it's a good one. It's a good one. Certainly a lot better than the game we're covering here, which I'm not going to fully apologize for because, again, how can you really predict sometimes when these games are going to end up being good ones or end up being blowouts? Jane says, I picked Gonzaga for the Final Four. I actually ended up having them getting knocked out by Arkansas in the Sweet 16 because, look, I understand that Gonzaga is the top team, but again, every single freaking year, they end up blowing it in one way or another. Hell, Gonzaga got to the national championship game, and they were expected to easily beat North Carolina, and they ended up losing, and it was basically no contest. Look at last year. They got to the national championship game. Who did they get? They got blown out by freaking Baylor. So, for me, what makes me believe that Mark Few, who, yes, in many ways is a very good coach, but he doesn't come through in the postseason. What makes me believe this year is any different than any other year? If you want to use it from a hockey perspective, they're like the Toronto Maple Leafs of college basketball, where every year they have high championship aspirations, but they end up falling short every single time. At least Gonzaga can get past the first round, unlike the Maple Leafs. Jacob says, LeBron first player to get 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists. Jordan. Jorbum never did that. Well, I mean, look, the NBA game, that was very good, Jacob. That was very good. My brother appreciated that one. LeBron is obviously going to go down as one of the greatest players to play in the NBA. I don't personally think he's the greatest player of all time, period. I understand that people want to look at stats and things like that, yada, yada, yada. But for me, honestly, I just don't see it that way. And I mean, we've talked about this before. To me, the greatest player in NBA history is Wilt Chamberlain. And look, I understand. Wilt Chamberlain won, 2 championships in his career? But he was, for a long period of time, the most dominant player in the NBA. The only guy that could honestly go one-on-one with Bill Russell and have a really good amount of success. I mean, you think about this. They ended up having to change the rules of basketball with the 3-point, the 3-second violation and things like that, because the NBA was trying to slow down Wilt Chamberlain. My argument, and Wilt Chamberlain even brought it up himself when he spoke to Michael Jordan, he said straight up, look, they changed the rules, they being the NBA, they changed the rules to slow me down. They changed the rules for Michael Jordan to make him better. And I've always argued this. We know that Michael Jordan is great, okay? He's one of the most competitive players of all time. He's one of the clutchest players of all time. But he played in an era where there wasn't that amount of competition like guys like playing against prime Magic Johnson, prime Larry Bird, the Detroit Pistons who gave Michael Jordan the business for a long time until Michael Jordan got help from Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant and Gail Hodges and John Paxson. I mean, he had to get a lot of help before they could get over the hump and finally beat the Detroit Pistons. But then let's look at the teams that Michael Jordan and the Bulls played against in the finals. First year was against the very old and depleted Los Angeles Lakers. That was the first one. Second one was the Portland Trail Blazers, who were a solid team with Clyde Drexler, but that was about it. Then you had the Phoenix Suns, who were led by mainly Charles Barkley, so there's that. The next one they won was against the freaking Seattle Supersonics. Like, really? Like, I know the Sonics took them to 6 games, but really? Like, that's not that good. Like, I'm not impressed. Let me put it that way. I know they had Gary Payton, okay? I know they had Kemp. I understand that. But still, were they really that good at were they really at the same level as Jordan and the Bulls? No. And then you have back-to-back years where they take on the best team that the Bulls faced in that era, and that was the Utah Jazz with Stockton and Malone, okay? And those were great matchups. But again, Jordan and the Bulls were just way, way, way better, okay? So really, Jordan had a much easier time than some of the other guys we've seen in years past. And if you want to talk about just straight-up championships, Bill Russell's 11-1 all time as a player and a coach. So, I mean, if you want to go from that perspective, Bill Russell is the greatest player to ever play in the NBA. Jordan is probably top 10, but he's not number 1. LeBron, who I think has, lost the finals more than he's won? I mean, do you really think, honestly, I know people want, LeBron to be the greatest of all time, but you don't see it. Like, I don't see it. I just do not see it. And LeBron obviously needed some help. And look, all these great players need help at the end of the day because it is a team sport. But still, that's just my whole argument with it all. So I don't think Jordan's the greatest of all time. And I certainly don't think LeBron is even, but I still think that those are two of the greatest players to ever play. Jacob says, LeGoat and Jor Bum are not GOATs. I agree. Josh Giddey, who's hurt and not playing again this season for the Oklahoma City Thunder, is the greatest of all time. All right. Jacob says, prime Jor Bum or prime LeBron, who wins in a best of 7? It's prime Jordan, in my opinion, because Jordan is more clutch, in my opinion, than LeBron. Here's the thing about Michael Jordan, and obviously I learned this watching the 30 for 30, The Last Dance, this, that, and the other thing. Michael Jordan always found motivation to go out there and play at a level that nobody else could. And, look, is LeBron bigger? Yeah, but he's bigger because it's a different type of NBA now than it was back then. But I think that Jordan, if it's one-on-one, I think Jordan's just better. I really do. He can knock down the 3 a little bit better. His jump shot is certainly better. The big thing that LeBron has over Jordan is his size and being able to go down low and dunk it. Other than that, I think it would be Jordan over LeBron in a best of 7. Shane says, now the competition is as hard as ever. In the NBA, I I guess it's getting there now that we have more good teams that can compete in the NBA. But it certainly is better than what we've seen in the past. But we are just about ready, ladies and gentlemen, to get the second half underway of our game between Marquette and North Carolina. This is a first-round matchup in the East region. North Carolina, obviously, with an easy lead right now, up by 28 points. Biggest difference for me is the three-point field goals. North Carolina, 10 of 22, while Marquette, just 3 of 13. At second chance points, 21-2 in favor of North Carolina. So obviously, North Carolina has come out with a mission that they not only want to win, but they want to win going away. And they have certainly done that so far. And we'll see if Marquette has any fight in them here in this second half. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Marquette somehow makes a run back into this game? Or do you think North Carolina already has this game in the bags? Jacob says, Jorbum never had to beat a 73-9 team after being down 3-1. No, he didn't. I understand that. I totally understand that. But at the same time, he's also lost a bunch of finals. Jordan never lost in the finals. That's another argument that you have to make. But nonetheless, we are now underway here in the second half of our game between North Carolina and Marquette. Again, the winner of this game will face off against the number 1 seed in this region, Baylor, in the second round. North Carolina is 21-0 this season when leading or tied at halftime. So certainly, when they're leading or tied, they can get it done. North Carolina defeated Marquette in the last tournament meeting 81-63. They led by 25 points at halftime. So North Carolina kind of following the similar script that they had the last time they faced Marquette. As Manic with a long three, and that one hits the back iron, and he misses, and now Marquette comes the other way. Shane says LeBron has 4 finals MVPs and 3 different teams. The teams he joined suck before and after he plays on them. So in my opinion, most impactful player. As I love to Manic, and he slams it. Manic now with 15 and a nice long lob to him. And now Carolina exactly up by 30 points. Shane says, well, I mean, look, here's the thing. 4 finals MVPs, yeah, it's great. But he also ended up creating super teams as well. And yes, you can say that as well about Michael Jordan. And that's where my argument comes that I don't think either Jordan nor LeBron are the greatest of all time. But as far as impact is concerned, I guess I'd lean more towards LeBron because people say, "Oh, Jordan changed the NBA game. He saved basketball." No, he didn't. If you want to talk about who saved basketball when it was at a low point, it was when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came into the league. By the way, Marquette defeated North Carolina 67-59 in the 1977 national championship game. So at least Marquette has that as a layup there by North Carolina's good. 57-27 now, North Carolina, just 2 minutes into the second half. Jorbum lost in the first round more than LeBron has. Okay, great. But then again, look at it this way. And Jacob, you know you can't deny this. LeBron has lost in the finals several times. Michael Jordan never did. Once he got to the finals, there was nothing stopping him. As Jordan Lewis finally scores his first points of the game on a three-point shot. He's 1 of 10 now from the field, 1 of 5 from downtown. So the leading scorer for the Golden Eagles, who had no points in the first half, gets his first of the game. And then Manic responds with a right hook floater himself. It's now 59-30 North Carolina. I don't think it's a strike against to get to the finals. LeBron's gotten to 10. No, that's another thing that's impressive. LeBron got to, 8 or 9 straight finals in a row. LeBron's also been in 10. Very impressive in his own right. So again, both of these guys have gotten themselves impressive things on the resume, but neither one of them, in my opinion, is, when you look at it, greatest player, most dominant player, neither one of them is that. And Wilt Chamberlain, like I just said, they had to change rules to slow him down because he was just too damn good. As now Love with a long three, and he front rims that one. So Caleb Love looking for his 7th three-pointer of the game. Couldn't score there. 59-33 right now for North Carolina. Marquette 5 of 17 now from downtown, while North Carolina is 10 of 24. That three-point shot is no good. Rebounded by Carolina. They come in with numbers. Love to McCoy, and he slams it down. McCoy with a long alley-oop to him. And he slams it with 2 hands. It's now 61-59 to 33. Bako, 12 points on 4 of 10 shooting. Number 12 with a long three from Marquette. Just rims out. It's rebounded by Bako, who I think now has officially gotten to his 26th double-double of the season. Quite an impressive year for him. Jacob says, Jabrama hasn't made the playoffs in over 15 years. Yeah, well, for obvious reasons that he obviously hasn't played in a long time. Jacob also says, 37-year-old LeBron is putting up 28.7 points a game. Jabrama at the age of 37 was wasting money. Well, the other thing is this, Jacob, and you know this is better than I do because you're a Lakers fan. LeBron has to carry the damn Lakers just to look decent. And look at them last night. They lost to the Wolves. And granted, the Timberwolves have been hot of late. But still, LeBron has to do incredible things individually on a game-to-game basis just to keep the Lakers at a decent level, which obviously goes to show you how talented LeBron is even at 37. But still, look at the situation that he's in. My wonderful mother in the chat again saying, wow, what a blowout. Yeah, this is certainly not something that I wasn't hoping for this. I was hoping for a good game. Again, there are times where I think you can kind of get an idea that it can be a competitive game. But sometimes you look at a game and you say, I don't, it could be a blowout. It could not be. But this one has certainly been all North Carolina since it was 10-8. Since it was 10-8, that's when the Tar Heels started to really get themselves going and have not looked back since. As we'll get a stoppage in play, just a little over 4 minutes into the second half. North Carolina with a 28-point lead right now over the Marquette Golden Eagles. We'll step aside just a moment to get another quick word from our sponsors. So once again, a big shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Basketball Podcast Network. Make sure, guys, make very, very sure when you sign up for DraftKings to use our promo code TBPN and tell them Neil Villapiano sent you. So if you're just joining us here, this is a live watch along of the first round matchup in the East region of the end of this year's men's national basketball tournament. North Carolina right now with a commanding, led by Caleb Love's 21 points, a commanding 61-33 lead over the Big East Marquette Golden Eagles. And again, the difference is, I would say, in this one, since this game started, was a couple of things. Number one, North Carolina has out 3-point shot the Golden Eagles. Marquette is known as a 3-point shooting team, and they really, really have struggled today as Marquette has made just 3 3-pointers all game long. North Carolina with 10 right now, and Caleb Love has led the way with 21 points. It also should be mentioned that Jordan Lewis, the top scorer for Marquette, has only had 3 points. He ended up with no points in the first half. He averages 17 a game. He did not score a single point in the first half, missed his first 9 shots to start this game, and then got a 3-pointer early in the second half to finally get off the scoring schneid. As a shot there is no good by Marquette. Now North Carolina will control. Carolina with it now. Number 4 drives the lane, kicks out to Manick. Manick another 3-point shot, and he twishes it. Oh my goodness. Manick now is knocking down 3 after 3. As Manick now with 23 points on 8 of 12 shooting and 22 with a response from Marquette. He knocks down a 3, and it's back down now to 67-36. Number 4, Carolina easily breaks the press. 4 slows the air. Manick right now is now the leading point getter for North Carolina, with Caleb Love not registering a bucket yet in the second half, but it's still early. Number 4 gets over number 1. He's on the right side. Fires it over there. It's intercepted by Marquette. Number 4 coming in with 1 man to beat, and he'll lay it up and in off the takeaway and scores. It's now 67-38 North Carolina, 14:35 to go here in the second half. Quick scoreboard update. Gonzaga right now up 59-54 over Georgia State with 11:44 to go in the second half. Georgia State looking for maybe the biggest upset of the tournament. Potentially could knock out number 1 seeded Gonzaga as an and 1 there for Bako is good. So Bako will go to the line to see if he can complete the 3-point play as he makes it now 69-38. Nice. North Carolina. Again, Baylor blew out Norfolk State earlier today, 85-49. The winner of this does play Baylor. Tennessee blew out Longwood, 88-66. Richmond with the first major upset of the tournament, winning 67-63 over Iowa. New Mexico State plays UConn at 7. St. Peter's from New Jersey plays University of Kentucky at 7:10. Indiana against St. Mary's at 7:20. And Creighton plays San Diego State at 7:27. So there's a couple updates. There's a slam dunk by Marquette. Is good. UVM plays Arkansas at 9:20. San Francisco plays Murray State at 9:40. And Akron plays UCLA at 9:50. That is a late game there. Texas Southern plays Kansas almost at 10 o'clock. So a lot more college basketball here today. Michigan beat Colorado State earlier 75-63 after being down by as many as 15 in the first half. Manick now with it. Off the screen. Loses the ball. It's taken away by Marquette. Here they come. 23 lobs up to 13, and he missed the dunk. Follow-up try by 23. He can't get it. 13 again. Back to 23. He makes it, and a foul. So Marquette will go to the line here as they've cut the deficit to was now 42. Most double-doubles by an ACC player in a season. Armando Bacot got his 26 today. He is tied with Tom Burleson and Len Chappell for the second most all-time. Tim Duncan, the Hall of Famer who played at Wake Forest, has the all-time record with 29. So if North Carolina can make a long run in the tournament and Bacot can continue to get double-doubles, he could very well break that record when it's all said and done. As Marquette knocks down both free throw shots. They actually just said no basket. But now it's taken away by North Carolina. Get to the number 3. They'll slam it down. So a response right away. And North Carolina back up by 30. Prosper with the most points for Marquette. He's got 14. Long 3-point shot there by Marquette. And they knock it down. I think that might have been Prosper as well. Not sure. And Manick right now leading the team in points for North Carolina. He's got 23. Number 4 drives lane, feeds it to Manick, and he'll slam it down with 2 hands. Speak of the devil, there is Brian Manick now with 25 here in this one. Looking like he may very well end up with 30, at least when it's all said and done. Number 4 lost the ball, but he gave it to number 3. That was on the replay of the other slam dunk. A lot of dunking, a lot of fast break points for the Tar Heels in this one. And then Manick just moments ago with a 2-handed flush. Once again, Marquette, probably for the rest of the game, will play press. Manick comes out the game now with 12:49 to go in the second half. And North Carolina comfortably up by 29 points. So now North Carolina trying to break the press, and we get a stop here. I believe they did call a foul on Marquette. So there's that. Number 1 looks like got the foul call against them. So Shaka Smart looks like he's going to have a very quick exit in the tournament here, as it looks like he'll end up dropping to 2 games below 500 in his career in the tournament. He's 7-8 currently right now with this game going on. Marquette's record this season, they started off 8-6 in their first 14. Next 9, they went 8-1, but then finished the season on a low note at 3-5. So they've been a very streaky team since the season began. And you're seeing more of it here. Again, Marquette making its 34th appearance in the national tournament. As number 4 at the top of the key right now for North Carolina. Now he's being double-teamed, gets over to Bacot. Bacot with a soft jump shot. He misses on the right rim. Rebounded by North Carolina's number 4. He's got it right now. And he'll slow it down here with 12:20 to go in the second half. Number 4 gets it over to number 3. Looking for a screen. He gets it. 8 seconds to shoot on the shot clock. Gets it over to Love. Love stops. Continues to move. And it looks like we're going to get a foul call here. Indeed, against Marquette. Will be on the floor here. So the shot clock will restart to 20. And honestly, if I'm North Carolina here, guys, I think at this point you got to start just killing clock. Not necessarily playing keep away, but just kind of really slow this one down and just let the clock run as much as possible. Because number 4 stops, gets it over, fakes the pass from number 1, gets it back to number 4. 12 minutes to go here. Caleb Love 10-0 this season when Love scores 20-plus points as number 4 with a floater, and that one's no good. North Carolina is 10-0 this season when Caleb Love scores 20. He's got 21 points, so it looks like they'll make it 11-0 as we're going to get a foul call here against the Tar Heels, and it looks like it'll be on the floor when we come back. 11:48 to go in the second half. North Carolina has been dominating since the start, and they still lead here by a whopping amount as they lead it right now 74-45 over Marquette. We'll step aside for just another moment to get another word from our sponsors. So again, guys, a big shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Basketball Podcast Network. Again, guys, as always, make sure to use our promo code, which you can see in the bottom right corner, TBPN. Tell them Neil Villapiano sent you. And again, guys, I really, really do recommend that you get on DraftKings right now. With the NCAA men's basketball tournaments, getting underway today, with the women's tournament actually starting tomorrow, DraftKings is giving you guys so many great opportunities to get some major money on cash prizes, just betting games in general. It's a really, really good time right now to use DraftKings and sign up and use our promo code. I promise you guys, it is so worth it. These guys are phenomenal. They make it safe and simple to, win and, end up, getting your money, cashing in your money and going from there. So as always, shout out to DraftKings. Use our promo code when you sign up, TBPN. So yeah, I mean, look, it's a little bit unfortunate that our first live watch along for the tournament has been basically a blowout. But again, sometimes you really cannot control when it ends up being the case. You can't control sometimes when the game is going like this. So it is what it is. But again, we are going to be doing a lot more of these as the tournament progresses. I will be back here right here tomorrow for the game between Texas and Virginia Tech. So that should hopefully be a good one and maybe a little bit more competitive than the one we're doing right now. Jacob says, how many subs we on? We are currently on 42 subs right now, guys. So let's try to get to 50 by the end of this live watch along. That would absolutely be great if we could get ourselves halfway to 100. So again, if you are new to the channel, make sure to leave a like on the stream, number 1, subscribe, and punch notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do right here on the Basketball Podcast Network. Live watch-alongs of NBA games as well as games in March Madness here every single day. And if you are new and you do subscribe, let me know in the chat so I can shout you out here on the stream. Gonzaga and Georgia State still in a dogfight right now. That winner will take on number 9 Memphis in the second round. And it's still a dogfight in that one, which is really, really impressive. You got to give credit to Georgia State for really, really just fighting here in this one. Very, very impressive indeed. Let's get back to our action here. By the way, it's 66-58. Gonzaga over Georgia State, 9:17 to go in the second half. North Carolina still up here, 74-45. 23 gets it over to number 5. Marquette with the ball right now. Gets to the 13. He drives the lane with the left hand, and he misses the layup. Rebounded by number 4. He tried to keep it in. Intercepted by Marquette, and they make the layup, and he gets fouled. And it looks like it's going to be Marcel that goes to the line here as a look to try to complete the and one. So he makes it now 74 to 47 with 11:26 to go in the second half. So number 4 tried to keep it in. And it was ended up taken away by Marcel. He was able to lay it up and in and also get fouled. So look to try to complete the M1. So he's at the free throw line. He takes a shot and he knocks it down. So he completes the 3-point play, making it officially now 74 to 48 North Carolina. So Marquette, almost at the halfway point of the second half, has still yet to reach 50 points. So now number 3 gets it. Slowly make his way, makes a move, gets it over to number 1. North Carolina will slow it down a little bit. North Carolina back up to number 3. Now back up to Love. He's standing just inside the half-court line. Caleb gets it over to number 1. Number 1 gets it over to number 3. He makes a move, and he's ended up going to be called for a travel there. That's kind of interesting since they don't really call travel that much in basketball anymore. But nonetheless, it is a travel. So it'll be a turnover for North Carolina. RJ Davis, number 4, who's number 4. He has 11 assists today with 0 turnovers. So RJ Davis really having a great game from a distributing standpoint. Very impressive. Now RJ Davis with the ball right now, 10:50 to go in the second half. Davis holding the ball right now, gets a screen from Bacot. He gets a nice bounce back to Bacot. He gets off the backboard and in. Just a good job there on the pick and roll. Great pass from Davis to Bacot. With the man on him, he's able to get it off the backboard and in. Bacot now 17 points on 6 of 13 shooting. RJ Davis just got his 12th assist of the game. 23 back out to 12. Takes a contested 3-point shot. He airballs it. It'll go out of bounds and will be Tar Heel basketball. 76 to 48 right now. North Carolina, 10:19 to go. And I think, honestly, if you're Marquette, it's pretty much a guarantee that you're not going to end up winning this game and pulling off an upset. But if you're Shaka Smart, you want to have your team still fight here to the very end with a little over 10 minutes to go. Try to finish the game on a high note and give yourself a little bit of momentum and, positivity going into next season. And you knew it was going to be a tough task against a talented North Carolina team. Now Davis will slow it up. Manek is back in the game. Gets it over to number 1. Number 1 tried to get it to Connells, broke it up. Now to Manek. Manek a 3, and he knocks it down again. Manek with another freaking 3-pointer. Unbelievable game from Manek, who I think needs just 2 or 3 more points now to reach 30. He is having an unbelievable game. In the first half, it was all Caleb Love. In the second half, it's been Manek. As number 13 missed a shot. Couple of missed shot opportunities in a row there for Marquette. And finally, the ref blows the whistle and calls a foul here against Carolina. And so Marquette will go to the free throw line here with 9:37 to go. And North Carolina currently with its biggest lead of the game. Gonzaga starting to pull away from Georgia State. Right now up 72 to 58 with just a little over 7 minutes to go in the second half. So what would look like could be a potential upset. Now Gonzaga's starting to take control of that one, which kind of sucks. Number 13 on Manek. Loses the ball. It's intercepted by Carolina. Here they come the other way. Number 3 gets over to 14 and he'll easily lay it up and in. As North Carolina now making it 81 points now for them with just over 9 minutes to go in the second half. Field goal percentage right now, North Carolina shooting it at 48%, while Marquette shooting it at a measly 33%. As that 3-point attempt by Marquette is no good. Rebounded by Carolina. Long pass on a breakaway to 14, and he'll lay it up again off the glass. Back-to-back layups for number 14, and North Carolina makes it a 35-point lead over Marquette here, as we've just reached under 9 minutes to go in this one. 13 with a floater, and that one's good. 26 assists to Marquette's 13 here in this one in favor of North Carolina. So North Carolina's just played a good team game all around in this one. Love gets over to Manek. Manek, another 3-point attempt, and this one goes off the rim, off the glass, and then rebounded by the Golden Eagles. So Manek getting a little bit, he's feeling it, but couldn't make that one. So now 10 with a 3-point shot, and he knocks it down as he cuts the deficit to just 30. This is now 83-53, North Carolina, 8:11 to go in this one. Manic, right inside the half court, gets it over to Love. Jordan Lewis knocked down that three, and that makes it now just 6 points for their leading scorer. He's 2 of 16 from the field. He has had a miserable game. Now Manic gets it over to Davis. Davis off the screen. He takes a long three-point shot, hits the back iron, hits the front rim, rebounded by 14 of North Carolina, and they call a foul, and I'm not sure who they called it on specifically. Next couple of games coming up later tonight. San Diego State against Creighton at 7:27, and then Kansas against Texas Southern. So those are some of the next couple of games coming up. But with 7:47 to go, really at this point, you could just look at it and say, North Carolina is just trying to run this one out and move on to take on number 1 Baylor. So North Carolina versus Baylor this weekend is going to be a fun matchup. Looking forward to seeing how those teams come out in that one. But before we continue here, we're going to step aside again for another moment to get another word from our sponsors. So once again, another big shout out, one of the many shout outs we've had here from our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Basketball Podcast Network. Guys, I've been saying it several times and got to fix my banner here while I'm thinking of it. Here we go. Again, DraftKings, guys, they are phenomenal with what they do. They really are. They make understanding how to bet and what good bets to make and things like that. They do a really, really good job. And so I highly recommend you go and sign up with them. And when you sign up, use our promo code TBPN and tell them Neil Villapiano sent you. So we got 7:47 to go here in this one. North Carolina on its way to a pretty decisive victory. And again, they will be taking on the Baylor Bears in the second round. They'll be playing on Saturday. That is going to be a fun matchup. Looking forward to seeing how that one plays out. But right now, again, like I said before, if you're Marquette, you just want to try to finish this game on a high note. But they have just had a very bad shooting night since this game started, and it has continued here in the second half. Brian Manick, he needs just 2 more points to get 30. Again, Caleb Love knocked down 6 3-pointers in the first half for North Carolina. He had 21, but Manick has been the star of the show here in the second half. Gets it over to number 3. Is now North Carolina with the ball, and there's Caleb Love. I would expect probably Hubert Davis to take out his starters in the next 3 or 4 minutes when this one is definitely 100% out of reach, even though it probably is already. 14 gets over to Manick. It's being hit it hard by 23, gets over 14 for a 3-point shot. Front rims it. Rebounded by Marquette's number 22, gets it over to 4. 4 with it now. He'll slow it down, gets it over, drives the lane. He passes it out, and it looks like we're going to get a foul here, maybe a blocking foul or something against against North Carolina with 7:03 to go in this one. East is back in the chat. He says, love the tunes, Neil. Well, thank you so much, man. Again, I'm not sure exactly who makes these. Again, I'm assuming it's our good buddy Dylan. But whoever has made these promos with the music and everything, job well done because they are phenomenal. A very bad shot attempt there by Marquette, and now North Carolina will slow it down and come the other way here. Caleb Love, it looks like he's going to start to really drill this clock down with 6:48 to go in the second half. What is going on, Josh Witt? Thank you so much for the comment, man. We appreciate it. Josh, if you're new, my friend, leave a like on the stream as well as subscribe. New live watch-alongs every single day here on the Basketball Podcast Network for NBA games as well as March Madness games as well. And if you do subscribe, Josh, let me know in the chat that you did so I could shout you out here on the stream. He says, it's the best sports day of the year, even with blowouts. I love it. That's a really good attitude to have because honestly, what's so much fun about this as Marquette will get a breakaway slam by Prosper, who has had the best shooting day of anybody for Marquette. It's just fun to be doing these games. I'm having a lot of fun. I'll be doing another live watch along for March Madness later tomorrow. So, and that'll be, this is the first of many that I'm doing. So I'm looking forward to doing more. But thank you so much, Josh, for hanging out with us, man. Again, like and subscribe. Really would appreciate it. He says, gotta love the madness. Oh yeah, 100%. Josh says, I'm a fellow live streamer for the Basketball Podcast. Oh, I do apologize, Josh. I do apologize. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Hope to see you on these live watch-alongs as well moving forward. And, again, I just started with the Basketball Podcast Network a couple weeks ago. I cover the Brooklyn Nets. Bridge to the Nets podcast is the podcast I'm the host of, covers that team, new episodes every Friday, and it's a pleasure to obviously meet you, in a weird way here in this chat, but thank you so much for the support, man. Really, really do appreciate it. As that shot by Marquette is up and good, so it's now 87-57 North Carolina with exactly 5 minutes to go in this one. Josh gives me the thumbs up. Love it, man. Thank you so much again. Really appreciate it. As now Caleb Love, who's had a very quiet second half, has the ball right now, looking to use a screen. He loses his footing for a second, keeps going. And a foul is called here against Marquette. Looks like it might be Prosper that gets the foul call there. Gonzaga now up by 24 points, 86-62, with 4:26 to go in the second half. So, unfortunately, Gonzaga will remain in the tournament for at least another round, as Georgia State, who kept it competitive for 3/4 of the game, lost its steam, and the Zags really, really have blown it open. As now Manic, who I think has exactly 30 points now, or at least 28, he'll sit the bench, and so his day is over. As you'll see that North Carolina, the next minute or two, will start to clear the bench a little bit. North Carolina, 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, 4.5 minutes to go in this one. Now Caleb Love with the ball. Oh no, he takes a long 3-point shot and he hits off the back rim and doesn't hit the rim at all. Hits the backboard and misses the rim. So he just had to throw that one up there. That would have been crazy if he made it, but he didn't make it. Now a shot attempt there on a layup by 23 is no good, but a foul is called. So Joplin will go to the free throw line. Shaka Smart, his first year at Marquette will come to somewhat of a disappointing end. Although they did make the tournament, he'll end up having his team making a quick exit here in the first round. He definitely has some work to do, but I think he's gotten off to a good start in a very competitive Big East conference, and he'll certainly look to try to get his team in a better position next season. As the 1-1 there for Joplin is no good, and it's rebounded by North Carolina. They'll slow it up here, 4:10 to go in the second half. So long pass over the right side to 3. Tried to bounce past the 22 for North Carolina. It's intercepted by Marquette. So now 13 gets it over to Joplin. Joplin tries to drive the lane on the right side, lose the ball, gets it back to Marcel, and he makes the layup. And so now at least Marquette is down by less than 30 points. So I guess that's a small positive. As now you have another situation again. Caleb Love gets pushed by Marcel. Remember, in the first half, they had a couple of situations where they were pushing and shoving. And that time, I believe they did call a foul, but we'll get a break in the action here. 3:38 to go in the second half. Again, North Carolina has been dominating since almost basically the opening tip. And again, It's just about winding down the clock and getting them and finishing off what has been a very impressive victory for North Carolina as they'll get ready for a major matchup in round 2 against the number 1 seeded Baylor Bears. What is going on, Andy, aka Front Row Productions, a big fan of the hockey podcast network, THPN. He is in the chat. What is going on, Andy? Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well on this Thursday evening. Andy, if you haven't already, leave a like on the stream as well as subscribe. It really, really does help out the channel. I'd appreciate it. We're just a couple of subscribers away from 50. Would love if we could get to 50 by the end of the stream. So if you guys, have people who are big basketball fans, make sure they come over here, like this stream, and subscribe to the Basketball Podcast Network. New live watch-alongs every day here on the channel, covering the NBA as well as March Madness. Andy also giving me the hearts emoji. Thank you so much, Andy. How you doing today, Andy? Hopefully you're having yourself a good day. Considering that you're not, you live in DC, I live in Jersey, I would imagine the weather is probably the same by you. It's been cloudy and raining all day, even though it's been kind of humid. But hopefully you're doing well today. Are the Capitals playing today? Are they playing today? Let me check. I'm just going to check my own information. We'll look at the scores. The Capitals do indeed. The Capitals are in Columbus taking on the Blue Jackets in about a half hour. So I'm sure you're going to be watching that one. Isha says hello to Front Row. Yeah, guys, we also get a bunch of people from the Hockey Podcast Network, which is our sister channel here on YouTube, which covers the NHL. They do live watch-alongs as well. I'm on there a bunch. They come on here and they show support as well. So we really do appreciate it 100%. And again, if you guys are new, make sure to slap that like button, subscribe, and punch notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do right here on the Basketball Podcast Network. I really, really appreciate it. If you're new, let me know that you subscribe so I can shout you out here on the stream. Andy says, I'm doing good. It's raining, but about to be so nice weather tomorrow. Is it supposed to be better tomorrow? I really, really hope so. I'd love for the weekend to be nice. It is just kind of funny how this is the only day of this entire week, with it being St. Patrick's Day, that it's bad weather. And I forgot to say this, but I hope everybody is having a happy, healthy, and safe St. Patrick's Day. Shout out to all of my Irish friends out there. I'm Italian, so obviously this isn't one of the holidays that I really celebrate. And I know for a lot of people my age, the real reason that we all go out and celebrate this holiday. But again, I hope everybody is enjoying themselves here, even if the weather is kind of crummy. But then again, since we're all going to the bar anyway, and usually it's indoors, doesn't really matter that much. But still, I hope you guys are having a fantastic St. Patrick's Day. And thank you for spending some of that day here with us on the Basketball Podcast Network for this live watch-along. Once again, my name is Neil Villapiano. I'm the host of the Bridge to the Nets podcast here on the Basketball Podcast Network, which covers the Brooklyn Nets. As you can see here from what I'm wearing, new episodes of the podcast every Friday. So we'll have a new episode coming out late morning, early afternoon tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune into that. He says, raining on the West Coast too. Well, isn't it raining like most of the time in your area, Isha? I mean, how often does it not rain in the Vancouver Islands area? He also says, Green Beer Day. Yeah, I know. I have one friend that she wanted to go to a parade last week for St. Patrick's Day, and she was talking about green dyed pizza, which as an Italian who loves his pizza, it certainly is an interesting thing. I'm sure it doesn't taste any different than regular pizza. It's just with color. But my dad, Papa Villapiano, he actually made a corned beef and cabbage to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So we kind of have a little bit of celebration going on in our household. So that's kind of a cool thing. 3:13 to go here in the second half. Again, North Carolina up by 30. Long three-point shot is off the rim and out by 24, as now North Carolina has cleared their bench as well as Marquette. So now it's just about these young kids, these guys who don't play as much, get a chance to play a little bit in a national tournament game. As an offensive foul there called against the Golden Eagles. And I'll go back to the Tar Heels here with 2:54 to go in the second half. He says, at my favorite local brewery, they have a special Lucky Charms Green Spike Hot Chocolate I may go try after work. Dude, that is sick. That is actually sick. As a rebound dunk there by number 3 of North Carolina is good, 91-59. But that's really good. I tagged you in the picture on Twitter. Well, I'll check that out later on after the live watch along, Isha. That sounds really awesome, man. Make sure to save me somebody. Now North Carolina gets the ball on the rebound. By the way, guys, we were talking about the Hockey Podcast Network. Make sure you guys go check out the Hockey Podcast Network. They will be doing a live watch-along of the Carolina Hurricanes versus Toronto Maple Leafs game, which will be starting at 7 o'clock. I literally just got a notification here on my computer. So make sure you go over to the Hockey Podcast Network, THPN, where they do live watch-alongs of hockey games. So if you're a hockey fan as well as a basketball fan, go show some love to our friends over there. We are almost at 1,300 subscribers on that channel. So not only help us out get to 50 subscribers today, but get over there and help us get to 1,300 by the end of the day. We would really appreciate it. But as Morsell misses a free throw attempt here, 93-59 right now, with the largest lead being 35 for North Carolina. Stanley Cup playoffs in the NHL begin on May 5th on TNT and TBS. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's hockey, obviously. So we're going to be doing live watch-alongs for those playoff games in hockey. So don't worry about that. It's going to get more exciting on both the Basketball Podcast Network and certainly on THPN. As North Carolina with a three-point shot, guy completely misses it, goes out of bounds. Andy says, I had green pizza today. Was it just food coloring, Andy? Like it was regular pizza with food coloring? Or was there like specific reason as to why it was green? Like they put broccoli on it or spinach or some sort of green? Let me know. So now Marquette will come the other way. 1:50 to go here in this one. Turnovers this half. North Carolina has 6. Well, Marquette has 4, but it really hasn't mattered not much. As number 4 with a floater and in. Makes it 93-61. Andy says it was food coloring. All right, that makes sense, but still kind of a unique thing. I'm sure if I wanted to go get some beer and use green food coloring, I might do that. It's only 6:30. I might do that. Who knows? It's number 11. Under the basket. He lays it up. No good. Rebounded for a second by number 3, but taken away by Joplin. And now Marquette comes the other way. 1:15 to go in this one. Gonzaga up 93-70 with just 44 seconds to go in that one. So the Zags will move on to the second round as they look to once again try to make a run to win a national championship. Now a long three-pointer by Marquette is no good. Rebounded by Joplin and only able to lay it up and in on the follow-up. Good job there to grab the rebound and lay it up. And now North Carolina's only up 93-63. Nice feed to number 14 who will lay it up and in to respond. Now it's 95-63. Tar Heels. And a travel called against, I believe, Marquette. But now both teams, again, emptying the bench. Now we got the bottom half of the benches for both teams. I think it is just kind of nice that in a game like this, both teams get an opportunity to have some players who don't play as much and are really, really far on the bench get a chance to even play just 40-some-odd seconds. I think it's really, really good. But we will get a timeout here with 44.5 to go in this one. North Carolina just running out the clock here as they will move on to the second round to take on the Baylor Bears. But before we get back to the action and wrap this one up, we will get one final word from our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook. So for one final time, a big thank you and shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Basketball Podcast Network. Make sure you guys, when you sign up for DraftKings, to place some bets on some of these March Madness games, to use our promo code THPN and tell them Neil Villapiano sent you. So again, 44 seconds to go in this one. This game pretty much from the start was never in question as, really, it was 10-8 North Carolina for the longest time. Both teams were missing three-point shots, or just missing shots in general. North Carolina started to get going. Marquette really never got going, and the Tar Heels ended up just really running away with this one. I also just checked here on Bleacher Report. I am being told that 1.76% is the amount of perfect March Madness brackets that are remaining, and we've had just 6 games completed so far. So not even through the first full day of March Madness do we have even a decent amount of perfect brackets. We have almost a little bit more than 1.5% perfect brackets to go. That is crazy. That is crazy that we have that few amount. But Marquette with the ball right now. Both teams have completely emptied their bench. Intercepted by 25 of Carolina. They'll come down for probably one last chance here. Gets to the 35. He takes a three-point shot. He misses. Rebounded by North Carolina. Gets to the 25. He takes a three-point shot. He misses as well. Rebounded by number 4. Shot clock is off here as now Marquette may hold for the final shot. Gets it over to his teammate. Number 41 with the ball, gets it over to 4, dribbles to his legs, gets to the 41. He takes a three-point shot, misses, rebounded originally by 34, lost the handle, it goes out of bounds, and so it remains Marquette ball with just 6 seconds to go in this one. So Marquette will have one last chance to maybe not end up losing by 30 or more points. 4 looking for somebody, fires it deep to 2. 3 seconds to go. 2 gets over 42. He takes a three-point shot at the end. Misses off the top of the backboard. And that will do it as North Carolina with a decisive blowout victory defeat Marquette by the final score of 95-63. And North Carolina, the number 8 seed, will move on to round 2 to take on the number 1 and defending national champion Baylor Bears. That game will also be in Fort Worth, Texas. So that is one of the first matchups that we have for the second round in the East region. Baylor against number 1, North Carolina. That, my friend, should be one of the more exciting round 2 matchups of this tournament. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, that is going to do it for me today on this live watch along here on the Basketball Podcast Network. As always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us all day long. We really do appreciate it. It was a lot of fun to interact with all of you lovely people, and I can't wait to continue to do more of these here on the Basketball Podcast Network. Follow us on social media at HoopsPodNet, both on Instagram and also on Twitter. Make sure to like us as well on Facebook at Basketball Podcast Network. New episodes of podcasts covering every single team in the NBA every day, including the Bridge to the Nets podcast, in which I'm the host of. Covers everything you need to know about the Brooklyn Nets. New episodes every Friday, so I'll have a new episode coming out tomorrow. You could follow the Bridge to the Nets podcast on social media at Bridge to Nets on Twitter, as well as Bridge to Nets on Instagram. You can follow me on my personal Twitter at THENVPSHOW and my personal Instagram at NVPQB11. Brady Manick, third player in ACC history with 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5+ 3-point field goal shooting in an NCAA tournament game. Dennis Scott in 1990 was one of them. I don't know who the other one was, but Brady Manick with a great game. Also, Caleb Love had a good game as well, just not a great second half. But again, thank you guys so very much for hanging out with us today. I will be back here live tomorrow at 4:30 for another round of 64 matchup, as we'll be doing the game between Texas and Virginia Tech. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys are notified when we go live for that one. But again, guys, we have one more clip, one more comment. Beer Sports Wherever Podcast says, good show. Thank you so much, guys. Like and subscribe before we end this one. Would appreciate it. But again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. Can't wait to do more of these for not only March Madness games, but obviously Nets games and playoff games moving forward. But again, thank you so much, and we will see you in the next live watch along. Once again, the final score today, the 8th-seeded North Carolina Tar Heels blow out the number 9-seeded Marquette Golden Eagles by the final score of 95-63 to move on to the second round of the NCAA tournament. Everyone continue to be the awesome people that you are. As I always say at the end of every live watch along, rock on.